And we are live. You already know who it is. My name is Mike Kyle, aka the Fantasy Vulture. I have over a decade worth of fantasy football experience and have continuously competed for fantasy championships over the course of the past 8 seasons. Let's make it 9 in 2021. But enough of me. I'm here for you. On today's episode of the FB Show, we're going to continue our 2021 NFL Draft rookie profiles for the fantasy football, breaking down all of the high-end rookies that will be impacting fantasy this season. Great for you dynasty players, and hopefully get you guys familiar with some of the players entering this year's draft. Up next, we are going to be talking about Clemson running back Travis Etienne. So if you're excited for this video, be sure to hit that like button down below. Smash that subscribe button so you never miss a video from me. The rookie profiles are going to be coming out at a rapid speed. I got 25 more to go. And even then, I feel like I might be doing some more after the draft. We'll see, depending on some landing spots. As always, follow me on all social media platforms at FFVulture, Instagram, TikTok, and Instagram. The content's going to be wrapping up. I've been having some discussions about possibly hiring a social media editor. So if you're watching this and you want to apply, be sure to hit me up on my website, ffvulture.com. I have a little contact form there. But also, you should check out that website because of the premium fantasy football packages that I'm sure all of you will love. A lot of exclusive content going on over there. Enough of me rambling. Let's just dive right in. You guys know how we do these by now. We're going to start off breaking down some highlights and then going into some stats and then just, giving some overall analysis after that. So let's just dive right in. Travis Etienne. We have our Travis Etienne highlights coming from SickEditzHD. Go ahead and subscribe to them. A link in the description. So let's talk about Travis here real quick before we dive into the metrics and things of that nature. I traded in my dynasty league. I traded away my draft pick during last year's rookie draft, and I traded back for it with the expectation I was going to try and land Travis. So this one is super important for me. I do say that things may have changed since then in terms of who I'm looking at, but Travis is absolutely one of those guys who are on my radar at the number 3 pick in my 2021 Dynasty Rookie Draft. So let's go, Travis. What do you got for me? Nice spin there. Just cuts to the outside. Just nice ability to stay upright, get through 2 guys, right?
Etienne, right up the gut of that Virginia defense.
Dude is so lean. Little bump action, still gets to the outside. I really like Travis. Jesus, I remember watching that live.
10 carries now, 47 yards for Etienne. They have the same play in the other.
Damn. So the thing that I always have kind of noticed about Travis, right? So I think what's really fascinating is at the top, you have Travis, you have Najee, and you have Javonte Williams from North Carolina. But just kind of looking at Travis and Najee, who are pretty consensusly 1 and 2, even though the Javonte hype train is through the fucking ceiling right now, the styles of which they play are so different, right? You have Travis, who's a little bit more of the athletic, the slimmer athlete type running back, very similar to an Alvin Kamara. Whereas you have Najee Harris from Alabama, who is full force Derrick Henry, right? Just going to kind of truck you and just make sure that you're never going to lose yards during any given play. So I really think it's interesting that the number 1 and number 2 running backs have contrasting styles. But I mean, you just watch Travis here, and it's just this dude is just I don't know, the way I kind of think of Travis is he's a point guard playing running back, if that makes sense. And I just to elaborate on that a bit further, point guards by and large aren't the most athletic guys, but what they're going to do is they're going to get open in their own way. And that's really how I feel about Travis. If you compare Travis to a point guard getting to the rim, it's very much the same kind of style and the same kind of flow. And that's really interesting to me. Damn. What else do we got here? Anything? No?
On his 9th career catch. Lawrence looked deep.
Another grab.
Good look into the eyes of Trevor Lawrence. It's Etienne.
Woo!
On his feet.
Oh, that's cold.
Keep on running, run out.
Oh, that's cold. Oh, he can throw too. That's fun.
Elliott says he can be as good as he wants to be.
See, he's just so shifty.
Straight ahead.
Maybe shifty is the wrong word. Like, I think, to me, I just think it's speed. Like, he just moves really well. And actually, now that I've thought of it, I know what it is, right? So I've always compared Terry Rozier, point guard for the Charlotte Hornets, I've always compared his game to like a water bug on the court, and he just kind of like glides. And that is what Travis does. He just glides up and down the field. Except for he also has the ability to take contact and extend the play after contact. Like, boom, there we go. Like, he should have been taken out. There it is. That's the perfect example. Here's what I want you to do right now. We're going to go back to this. Okay, so watch this play. He's literally just going to kind of whoop, and just shifts his way in. And that's exactly what it is. And there's that contact taking. Like, he's very good at just kind of getting to that next level and then being able to take contact and just kind of either extend the play or go down, like whatever the case is, right? But just watch this burst. Like, there it is. The only thing that's kind of my concern here is, like, so nice, is like, is it too predictable, right? That's kind of where my head's at right now, where you look at the way that he moves, and it's very obvious. Oh my God, what a nice cut. Like, he knows what he's gonna do before he does it, which is great, but also does that make him more easier to game plan against if he starts really to just get in the rhythm of tendencies. Oh, look at that next level burst. Oh my God, what a spin. Just cuts. One of my biggest... Does he take this to the house? Yeah, he does.
Right there, great job getting it.
Yeah, but one of my other concerns just kind of about Travis is, like, I don't know, you watch some of these highlights and it's like he should be able to just rip off big plays consistently, and it leaves you kind of disappointing that he doesn't always do it, right? Like, there are just some times where he will break into that second level and you're expecting, like, he'll take this to the house and he just gets tackled either not even short, but like the play just dies essentially.
Etienne has been capable of.
But again, you also look at that, and that graphic just showed that he leads the ACC all time in touchdowns. Like, this dude just gets in fucking end zone.
Blockers out in front. Breaking tackles.
Right.
We open up quarter number 2 with Travis Etienne.
God damn. He's so strong. His lower body control is fantastic. And just his ability to kind of stay upright and take a hit and stay up.
The leaders tonight for the Tigers.
Yeah, nigga. Yeah. That's right. That's how we do it.
I do also like that he has very consistent hands too.
And a quick handoff. Trying to spin a free. Draw play to Etienne. Right up the middle.
God, that burst is so good. He hits a hole and he's just like, I think that's the thing too, right? If he hits a hole, you're guaranteed 15 yards. And that's a very nice touchdown. Some help from the O-line right there.
There's Travis Etienne, able to stay on his feet.
See, like, there's a perfect example. Like, yes, he gets tripped from the back, but I'll see if I can pause at the right time.
There's Travis Etienne.
Like, bam, right here, he's gone. If he doesn't get tripped, and again, like, there's, like, what can you do, right? But even still, like, he hits this hole, he doesn't get tripped up, he's taking that shit to the house.
Able to stay on his feet. Coaches haven't seen so many close games this season. Travis Etienne right up the middle. He's got a
My brothers be wise, stay focused on the prize. Though everybody dies, we continue growing one day at a time.
All right, and there we have it.
Forgotten.
And there we have it. Travis Etienne, his highlights. And now let's kind of just dive into the numbers just a little bit. You guys know how I like to do these. First off, we'll go through player profiler. Then we'll jump over to his game log on Sports Reference. So let's break him down just a little bit. Travis Etienne, running back from Clemson, listed at 5'10", 215, so definitely a slimmer guy. Very much fits the mold of just this. I'm going to use the word speedster running back more than anything else. Pass-catching running back is maybe the better way to put it, which is what he is. He runs a 4.5 40, and then you also look at some of his other scores there with a 104.9 speed score and then a 121 burst score. Don't really pay too much attention to that. I mainly just look at the 40. Going through his college stats right now then, 4-year player, which is really interesting to me, because of the fact that I just feel like if he declared last year, I feel like his draft stock would have been a lot higher coming off the season that he had, and I feel like him coming back really did just hurt that a little bit. So let's go through this. What years do I want to go through, right? I mean, they're all really fucking good. 2018 and 2019 especially were phenomenal. You can even just look 26 and 23 touchdowns apiece. But his development in the passing game cannot be overstated. Just looking at his first 2 years, 7 targets in 15. Obviously, as a freshman's not going to get too much run. But then you bump that up to 38 and 60 targets, respectively. Travis Etienne is absolutely a pass-catching running back. He's just a guy who's going to do both. Very similar to that Alvin Kamara, very similar to that Christian McCaffrey, very similar to that Saquon Barkley style of role, where he's just going to be utilized both. Like, he will be a 3-down running back in the NFL because he has the skill set for it. Not saying he's going to be those guys. If I were to compare them one, it's going to be Kamara. More on that in just a little bit, though. The rush attempts are really interesting to me in 2020. If we just want to go through that, like just the drop-off that he had, 204, 207, then 168. And I don't know what that's a product of. If they just kind of said, hey, we're not going to utilize you as much. I mean, he did only play 12 games, so that definitely is part of it. And then also this Clemson offense just was really weird this year entirely. But even still, right, his yards per carry number dropped significantly as well. Went from a 7.8 to a 5.4. And I just have, it's very weird. It's very weird to me to see this production shift for a guy who came back for his senior season. And I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. And maybe that's one of the things that's giving me some cause for concern. Just trying to figure out what the hell was up with Clemson this past season and what was up with Travis's role in particular. But I mean, like that's the thing. The good of Travis is so fucking good. I mean, you're looking at this right now, and like you're seeing these numbers of 200 carries and 1,600 rushing yards and 20+ touchdowns, and that's absolutely what Travis Etienne could be at the next level. It absolutely could be. The receiving work makes me like, I'm really excited about him at the next level for that reason, right? Because no matter what happens, if he turns out to bust or whatever the case is, he's always going to have a role in the NFL because of his receiving work and his pass-catching ability. Like, being able to catch 37 to 38 targets is spectacular. Being able to catch 48 of 60 is spectacular, especially when Clemson's offense this past season really did shift to kind of this more check down, just work with what we got kind of offense. But let's go over to his sports reference page. So here we go. Travis Etienne. Also, I gotta say, number 9 for a running back. Very strong number. Just kind of going down the list here. Let's go down to the appearances, the awards, leaderboards, and honors. Just one of the biggest things here is rushing yards, right? So he led the country in rushing yards in the ACC. Like, just look at this. He was an absolute monster. He was 7th in the NCAA in 2019 in rushing yards. He was 4th in 2018. And then he was basically top 5 in the ACC throughout his entire career. Then you look at touchdowns. Can we just go to this? in touchdowns, number 1 in the ACC in 2018, number 1 in the ACC in 2019, 4th in the NCAA, 8th in the NCAA, 4th in the NCAA. Like, this dude is just an offensive machine. He really, really is, and I'm really excited about that because I think, like, there's also, like, this level of safety with him in that way. Like, not only is it the pass catching, but it's also his ability to just get in the end zone, right? Like, if anything else, I feel like if you give Travis Etienne 2 chances inside the 5, you're going to cash in the end zone on a pretty good amount of those opportunities. And then just one of the more crazier things is in terms of total points. He was first in the NCAA in 2018 and also first in the NCAA in the ACC in 18 and 19, and then was 5th in the NCAA in 2019. So this dude just kind of wrecks house, essentially. But as we know, total stats don't always tell the full story, and that's why we're going to go over to the game log right now, kind of see what was up and figure out where some of the issues were with Travis this season. So one of the bigger things, I think, is just the attempts, the consistency within the attempts. You're looking at a lot of games here with 10 or just 11 total carries, and it's like, that's not going to get it done. And is that a matter of they were blowing him out and they didn't need to run the ball? Is that a matter of he was pulled early? Is that a matter of it was a close game and they felt like they needed to push the ball downfield with Trevor? Not entirely sure, right? We're gonna have to do some in-depth. We're gonna have to do an in-depth Travis Etienne deep dive probably either at some point on the channel or I'll do it in my free time and I'll post it to the website ffvulture.com. But you're looking here. I mean, with 17 attempts, 102 and a touchdown, like you're looking pretty consistently. He was getting in the end zone, and this is where the fear comes in. Is you start looking at those yards per carry and the yards per game. It's not great. Like, it really isn't great. 102, cool. 149, awesome. 124, great. But everything else, like he had 300-yard games on the season. Travis Etienne, one of the best running backs, had only 3 100-yard games on the ground in 2020. I don't know what to believe of that. And let's kind of go over to the receptions too. Like, the receiving work was there. Like, he was consistently getting, 3 receptions a game, it looks like. Wasn't doing a whole lot with those either. It was just a very weird year for Travis. So if we go to 2019, which I'm actually going to go to right now. Let's see. There we go. So if we go to 2019, these numbers look a lot better, right? Like, this is the Travis Etienne that I am expecting in the NFL. You are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games over 100 yards rushing. You're still looking at insane touchdown numbers. You're honestly still looking at 3 receptions a game. The receiving yardage is still relatively the same. And in fact, he only had 4 receiving touchdowns in 2020. Or I'm sorry, in 2019, excuse me. But it really is just this weird case of what the fuck happened to Travis Etienne in 2020, right? Again, this was somebody who, once I realized my dynasty season could go one of 2 ways, I looked at my roster and it was like, fuck, you need another running back. Who do you think you can possibly get in the draft? And I knew that you were looking at Najee Harris and Travis Etienne near the top. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going to go get Travis. So that's what I did. I bought my pick back. I traded away a late 2021 first and Curtis Samuel for my pick back. That's what I did. Excuse me. That's what I did. And do I think it worked out well? Truthfully, probably, because if you look at where we're at right now in terms of running backs at the top of the draft, you're looking at Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, and Javonte Williams from UNC. Those 3 guys, significant gap, like the size of the Grand Canyon, and then everybody else. So if I had my original pick, I probably wouldn't have gotten one of those top 3 guys, and who knows who would be there when I was on the clock. So I'm definitely glad that I made the move, but trying to figure out what the hell happened to Travis is just head-scratching. I don't know what to do. Again, the things that make me confident is the fact that this is a dude who is the ACC all-time leading touchdowns leader, and he's a guy who's a pass-catching running back, right? So you're automatically going to get some kind of floor with him, and then it's just what's that ceiling, right? What's that ceiling? That's why I really like the Alvin Kamara comp And I actually really believe that Travis Etienne's landing spot is going to be very telling for what he can be in the NFL, and it's going to boost his floor and his ceiling significantly. So just kind of going through who's going to be on the clock, potentially when Travis is going to be there. You're looking at a late first, early second, and just to kind of spit back the names who I've been discussing, especially about Najee Harris, because the two are just really connected in terms of where they might go in the draft and teams that might draft them. You're looking at Pittsburgh, you're looking at Buffalo, you're looking at the Jets, the Falcons, and it's kind of like those four teams. Those four teams are really, really interesting. Maybe even the Buccaneers too, which I've heard some rumblings about. Maybe they go running back through the draft. But that's what I'm looking at right now. It's just, where does Travis go, and where would I be excited that he lands? To be honest, my favorite destination for Travis right now is the Jets. I think that would be such a great situation for him. You look at a new regime, so he's going to be the guy with this regime, right? You're also looking at a new quarterback in Zach Wilson, who I love. We're going to do a whole breakdown on him later, don't worry. And so kind of just having this new era of the Jets be Wilson and Travis, I'm all in. I'm all in. Not to mention that if the Jets are bad, you're just looking at more passing work for Etienne, which, again, is one of the things that I think makes him so safe as a prospect. As of right now, I would absolutely rather have Najee Harris than Travis Etienne. And where I have Travis Etienne compared to Javonte Williams, I guess you'll have to wait and see for that video, which will be coming out. Let me turn the corner here. That's going to be coming out on Saturday here. So we got Javonte Williams coming out on Saturday. We're going to do Devonta Smith tomorrow. If you missed Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, or Najee Harris, you can click the playlist right above here, and it's going to take you to them. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown and this reaction to highlights, be sure to hit that like button down below. Smash that subscribe button so you never miss a video from me. Follow me on all social media platforms. There we go. Where are we at here? Follow me on all social media platforms at FFVulture. A lot of content coming your way down there. And check out the website, ffvulture.com. Again, thank you so much for watching. Remember, people come and go, but fantasy championships are forever. And I will see you in the next video.